In case of a doubly linked list, it is nothing but it is a collection of nodes which are linked together in a sequential way, similar to the single linked list. Whereas here, the difference comes in the second point. Each node of the doubly linked list contains three fields. If you see the single linked list, every node will have two fields, but here every node contains three fields. They are called as data field, which contains the information that you are going to store in the doubly linked list. And then we have two pointers in this. One is known as pointer to the previous node, and the another is pointer to the next node. So we have two pointers, previous and then next, which contains the address of the previous node and the next node respectively. So totally we have three information that is stored in every node. And the nodes are connected to each other with the help of these two pointers, previous and then next. So you can travel in both the directions by using the doubly linked list. And one more thing, when you store the nodes, the next node of the last node is null. It is similar to single linked list only. And when you consider the first node, in that we have the previous link. The previous link of the first node is also null. So why we store null in these two fields is to indicate that the linked list is ending in both the directions. And then here also we have a pointer known as first or head pointer. Generally we call the pointer as head. This contains the address of the first node which is present in the linked list. Now let us see the diagrammatic representation so that you will understand. So we are going to represent every node by means of three fields. In the center we have the data which contains the information, and then in both the directions we have two pointers. So they contain the address only. So this pointer is known as a left pointer. It contains the address of the previous node, and this pointer is right pointer which contains the address of the next node. Now let us see one example to illustrate the address. So in this I have a doubly linked list. The first node is containing the data 1, it is stored at the address 1000. And the second node is containing data 2, which is stored at the address 2000. Third node with data 3 stored at the address 2500. So if you see, in the first node there is no previous node. So I am storing null in the previous field. And in the next field, I am storing the address of the next node. That is, there is a small mistake here, guys. I didn't update properly. One link is missing. Let me go to the next slide. There I will explain. Just now understand the diagrammatic representation. So here, this is the next address of the first node. The second node is stored at the address 2000. So I am storing 2000 here. And if you see this second node, the next node is at the address 2500. So in the next field, I am storing 2500. And for the last node, there is no next node. So I am storing null in that. Okay, so I have shown only one pointer. Another pointer is, you can see here, in this we will have one more pointer that I will show in the next slide. So here, if you consider the last node, the previous node of the last node is this one. It is stored at the address 2000. So you will have that address here. And similarly, for the second node, the previous node is this, which is stored at the address 1000. So you will be storing 1000 in the previous field. If you consider the first node, there is no previous node for that. So we have null in that. And whatever is the type of the linked list, head will contain the address of the first node. That is nothing but 1000 is stored in the head. Now, this is a representation of the linked list. Now, let us see the comparison of single linked list and doubly linked list. Okay, so in case of a single linked list, every node has only two fields. One field is data field, another is the next field. If you consider doubly linked list, every node has three fields. One is the data field, then one previous link field, and then one next link field. And in case of a single linked list, you can travel the single linked list only in one direction. Why it is possible in one direction is we have only one pointer. So you can travel the linked list starting from the left direction to the right direction only. Whereas in case of doubly linked list, since we have two pointers which contain the address of the previous and the next nodes, we can travel them in both the directions from right to left as well as from left to right. So then the third point is your single linked list is going to occupy less memory when compared to the doubly linked list. Why? Because in case of single linked list, every node contains only two fields. One extra pointer is not here. So it is going to occupy obviously less memory when compared to doubly linked list. And doubly linked list is going to occupy more memory than single linked list because there are three fields present in this. And which is efficient when you consider the accessing. If you consider the accessing, your single linked list is less efficient to access the elements because you can travel the linked list in only one direction. Whereas in case of doubly linked list, it is more efficient to access the elements. So this is the comparison of two types of linked list. Now, whenever you want to save the memory and when you want to travel in one direction only, go for single linked list. Otherwise, it is advisable to go for doubly linked list. Now, let us see the primitive operations on doubly linked list. Similar to the single linked list, we have create, where you will be creating the first node. Then we have the insertion. We can insert at the beginning, middle, and the end. Then we have the deletion, where we can delete from the middle, beginning, and then end. And here comes the difference. We have display. In case of display, so far in the single linked list and circular single linked list, we have seen only one direction display. Whereas here we can display in both the directions. So you have two displays here. One is a display from left to right, another is display from right to left. Okay, so now let us go to the next slide. We are going to now start with the program. First, we will see how to represent this doubly linked list in the memory. So we should understand what is the structure we are going to use for the doubly linked list. So in your program, first include your header files, stdio.h and then stdlib.h. The second file is for dynamic memory management, malloc and free. And coming to the doubly linked list structure, we are going to write the keyword struct followed by the name of the structure. It is a doubly linked list. Inside that, you are going to declare the members of the structure one by one. I have the data. So I am declaring int data. Then I have two pointers now. Both the pointers are pointing to the another element of the same doubly linked list. So you should write the pointer name as star previous and then star next. Both the pointers are pointers of the type doubly linked list. So you have to write struct DLL here as a type. And after that, you can declare a new name for this structure to have easy reference. So I am declaring by means of typedef keyword. So typedef struct DLL node. Then these are all the variables I am going to use in my program. We will see them whenever we need. So first we are going to focus on the create function. This create function is used to create the first node in the doubly linked list, and remaining nodes are created by using the insert function. So these things are same for all types of linked list. The definition is same. So now let us see how a doubly linked list is empty. So if your doubly linked list is empty, it means that your head pointer, which is nothing but pointer to the first node, will contain null. Now I try to understand this pointer is not a doubly linked list or a single linked list. It is simply a pointer variable. Okay, so I didn't represent any fields here. It is simply a pointer variable which will occupy certain number of bytes. In my compiler, it is occupying 8 bytes. So since it is null, I am going to store, it is indicating that the linked list is empty. Now I want to create the first node. When I want to create the first node, first I have to create a new node like this, which contains the 3 fields as indicated by the structure. Then in the new node, once you use the malloc function, it will allocate the memory for the new node and it will return the starting address, which is nothing but 2000. After that, you have to store the data field in the new node as well as both the link fields of the new node as null, because it is the first node. It is not going to point to any other element. So store null in both the link fields. Then after storing null, what you have to do is you have to store the address of the new node in the head pointer. So when you do that, automatically this link will be created. So these are all the steps we are going to do. Now let us see them one by one. First, we are going to write the create function. In that, my aim is first I have to create the new node. So I'm using the malloc function. After that, it will return the starting address. That address, I'm storing it in the variable called new. Then I'm getting the data from the user. I'm storing it in the data field of this new pointer. So whenever you want to access the variable using pointer, you will write the pointer name, arrow, structure member name. Then after that, you want to store null in both the pointers. So I am writing new arrow previous is equal to null and then new arrow next is equal to null. Once that is over, we have to store the address of the new node in the header. So that head will now point to the new node. So I am writing head is equal to new. So when these steps are over, your linked list will be created with one node. So we are using create only for creation of the first node in the linked list. Now, let us see the remaining functions. First function is insert at the beginning. So in insert at the beginning, this is my linked list which is already existing. I have the linked list with 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. So if you see, the first node and the last node contains null in their previous and the next field respectively. Remaining nodes contain some value in the address field. Now this is a pointer I told that I forget in the first slide. In a doubly linked list, every node will contain 2 pointers now. So you can see here in the connection, you will write 2 pointers. This pointer indicates that here this 200 is the address of the next node. So for this, I have shown this one. And here this 100 is nothing but address of the previous node. So it is going to create this pointer. Okay. So 200 is for the first pointer and 100 is for the second pointer. Now, I'm going to create the I'm going to insert this node as the first node in the linked list. So what are the steps? First, you create this green color node. So I'm using malloc to create the node and storing the address in the variable new. So according to this diagram, new will have a value of 400. Then from the user, I am entering the data. That is nothing but this 4 I am getting by means of ampersand new arrow data. And after that, this node you are going to insert as a first node. In the beginning, you are going to insert. That means this will become the first node now. So for this node, the previous pointer will be null because this is a first node. No other nodes are appearing before this node. So you store the previous pointer of this node as null. So I am writing new arrow previous is equal to null. So this is done. So after that, in this you can see I have an arrow. So what is this arrow? In the new node, in the next field, you are storing the address of the head node. That is nothing but the address of the first node, which is available in the head that you are storing here. So I am writing new arrow next is equal to head. When I do that, this arrow will be created. The meaning is this node is now pointing to the node with the address 100. So now you have created only this arrow. Even still, certain arrows are missing. So we will see them one by one. So now you can see the next difference. I have created this arrow. The second arrow is created in the previous slide. Now I want to create the first arrow. So what I'm doing here in this, I'm storing the address of 100 here. Okay. So how to do that? In order to store this, first, I'm going to copy this head in a temporary variable called temp. Okay. So now temp contains 100. 100 is nothing but address of this node. So temp is now pointing to this node now. So in this node, in the previous field, you have to store this. Oh, there is a mistake. Can should be 400. Okay. So now, if you see here, first I am copying the head value in a temp. After that, here I have to store 400. That is nothing but address of this node. Okay. So where it is available in the variable new. So I have to store it here. So I am copying new in certain place. In which place I have to copy? It is nothing but I am copying in the previous of temp. Temp contains 100 in the previous of temp. That is here. This is previous. In previous of temp, I am storing the value as 400. So when I do that, this link will be automatically created. So now I created these two links. Now still this is missing. Okay, this I have to create. It is actually pointing to this node only. This I have to change. It is already there. I have to change this. So now what I have to do is I have to make this head pointer to point to this new node. So that we are going to do in the next slide. So I have to make the head pointer to the new node. So I am writing head is equal to new. When all these steps are over, you will be having all the data updated properly. Actually, in this, no need for temp. Even you can do without temp also. Okay. So now these are all the steps for inserting the node at the beginning. So let us see the steps one by one. So first, by means of malloc, you are creating the new node. Then you are getting the value of the data from the user. Then you are updating the previous and the next field of the new node properly. After that, you are storing the address of the new node in the previous of the first node. So I am using this step. Then the last step is for changing the head to point to the new node. So with this, insert at beginning is over. Now let us focus on insert at end. So in insert at end, your linked list is like this. You have to insert the new node at the end of the linked list. That means it will come here. So since this is at the end of the linked list, it will not have any next node. So I am going to store null in the next field of the new node. So as usual, using malloc, you get the data. Here I am storing null in the next field of the new node, not in the previous field as we did in the previous example. Because this will be the last node now. So in the next field, I am storing null. So I am writing new arrow next is equal to null. When these steps are over, you will have this green color node created. Next, what we have to do? You have to insert this 4 after this 3. Here you have to insert. So now let us see the steps. So now I need to insert this 4 after the last node. So I don't know what is the last node now. Since I don't know the last node, I have to start my traversal. So to do the traversal means the steps are clear. This one we are following from the beginning. Whenever you want to do traversal, store the address of the head in a temporary pointer, temp. After that, while temp is not as next of temp is not is equal to null, you have to make next of temp as temp. So this we have seen from the beginning. So the same steps only. So when this loop is finished, when you come outside the loop, what is the meaning is the next of temp is equal to null. That means your temp will be pointing to this node 300. What is the reason is in this node only the next field is null. Okay, so when you come outside this loop, every time you will start with one node, you will move on to the next node till you get a node with next field as null. So here we have the next field as null. So temp contains 300. At that time, you will come outside the loop. Now let us see after that what we have to do. So when you come outside the loop, your diagram will be like this. Temp will contain 300. Now what you have to do? You have to add this node after this 300. So 2 pointers you have to include with respect to this node. So first pointer is nothing but you can see here. Now this node is going to be inserted after this. That means in the previous field of the new node, you have to store the address of this node, which is 300. Okay. And where is this 300 available? That is available in the variable temp. So you make this node as a previous of the new node. So I am writing the previous of new is equal to temp. When I do that, here the new node is, so here you are storing temp as the previous of the new node. Temp is 300, new node is this one. In the previous field I am storing 300. When I do that, this arrow will be created. Okay, now one more arrow is pending. That is, instead of null in the last node, you have to store the address of the new node. That is pending now. Let us do that. So here you see in the last node, in the next field, I am going to store the address of the new node, which is 400. So when I do that, this pointer will be created. So doubly linked list means you will see 2 pointers here. Okay. So this should be created now. For that, I am writing this node is now accessed by temp. Okay. Because temp contains 300. In the temp, in the next field, you have to store the address of the new node. So I am writing temp arrow next is equal to new. When this is done, entire diagram is created. So all the steps, whatever I have explained, is given as a function. Just go through that. Now let us see insert in the middle of the linked list. So when you want to insert in the middle of the linked list, first from the user, you will get the key value. Key is going to represent after which node you want to insert this particular node. So here I am getting the key from the user. I am storing in the variable called key. After that, I am creating this new node. Now you can see I am writing only the data field of the new node. I am not writing any pointers because this will be inserted in the middle. So both the pointers will have some data. So I am not writing any value in the pointer field. Just I am getting the data value. So after that, your new node will be like this. You have to change the pointers now properly. So how to change the pointers? So now we don't know where is the key present. So we have to travel through the entire linked list. So I am starting with temp is equal to head. Then I have to go through the entire linked list and I have to find a node whose data is equal to key. Because this key is going to tell you after which node you want to insert the new node. So I'm writing while temp of data of temp is not is equal to key. That means I didn't come to a node which contains key as a data field. So I have to continue my search now. So what I have to do in that case, I have to go to the next node. So for that, I am writing temp is equal to next of temp. When you do that, You will continuously travel through the entire linked list, and when any node is having the data field as key, there you will stop. Okay, here you see my key is 2. Which node is having data as key? That is nothing but this node. Okay, so here you will stop. So at this point of time, your temp will be equal to 200. So and at this point of time, you will come outside the loop. So let us see the next slide. So when you come outside the loop, your temp will have 200. Now what you have to do? You have to insert this green color node here after this. Okay. So in the previous field of the green color node, you have to store the address of this node. So the address of this node is available in temp 200. So that you store it in the previous field of the green color node. So this pointer I am going to create 200. I am going to store here. So I am writing new arrow previous is equal to temp, because temp is 200, that I have to store it in the previous field of the next node. Here I have to store. So when I do that, this pointer is created. Now, what are the remaining pointers we have? So many pointers are still pending. Now let us see the next one. So now what I am doing is, I have to make this next field of the new node to point to this node. Okay, this next node I have to point. So how to do that? So for that, I have to store the address of this node 300 in this field, in the next field of the new node. Where is 300 available? Here you see we have temp as 200. In this is 200. In that address, in the next field, 300 is available. So you take this 300 and store it here. For that, I am writing the statement new arrow next is equal to temp arrow next. So what is the meaning is, temp arrow next is nothing but this 300. Take it and store it here. This is nothing but new arrow next. So when you do that, this arrow is created. Okay, so now we have 2 more arrows pending. So we have totally, whenever you insert any node in the middle, 4 pointers should be updated. We have updated successfully now 2 pointers. Still 2 pointers are pending for us. Now let us update them in the next slide. Next you can see, I have to store the address of the new node. I am including this pointer now. Okay, I have to store the address of the new node here. This 400 should be stored here. Previously, only 300 was present here. Now I have to update this. So for that, I have to store this new. Okay, so this new should be stored in this field. This is nothing but next field of temp. Temp is 200. Next field of temp is this 400. So in the next of temp, you store new. When you do that, this pointer will be created. Now still 1 pointer is pending. This pointer you have to modify. Okay, it is still pointing to the previous old node only. You have to modify this pointer. Now let us see how to modify that. You see this pointer only now we are going to modify. Okay, so what is this? You have to store this 400 here. Okay, so now focus on this student. This is little bit difficult to understand this point because we have 2 pointer movement here. So 400 should be stored here. 400 is available in new. So here I am writing new. This part is clear. Now try to understand this. Now I have to get this particular link. Okay, so how to get this particular link? You can see this. I am writing new arrow next arrow previous. What is new now? You can see new is now 200. Okay, sorry, new is now 400. New arrow next means go to the next field of new, that is nothing but 300. Okay, so go to 300. In 300, so this part is totally 300 in that previous field. That means in 300, the previous field, that is this field. Here you are storing this 400. So I am writing new arrow next arrow previous is equal to new. Okay, when you want to do, there are so many ways available, but you need to go for extra pointers. To avoid that, I have done like this. Okay, so now we have updated all the 4 pointers. So the insertion in the middle is over. Or you go to the delete at the beginning of the linked list. So in delete at the beginning, I want to delete the green color node, which is available in the first node as a linked list. So when I want to do that, first after deletion, I have to release it to the free storage. So I'm simply copying the address in a temporary variable because for free, I will be giving this temp as the argument. So I'm copying the address which is available in the head in temp. So temp will have now 100. Then what I have to do? I have to make now the head to point to the second node. Okay, so when I want to do that, I need the address of the second node. The address of the second node is available in the next field of the first node. Okay, so I am writing temp is now 100. So I am writing temp arrow next is equal to head. I'm storing like this. I'm storing the value of temp arrow next in head. So when I do that, what is going to happen is temp is 100, temp arrow next means 200, 200 will be stored in the head pointer. So this will happen. Now this blue color arrow is created. Then what you have to do, you are going to delete this green. That means this 100 will not be existing. Since you are going to release it to the free area, instead of this 100, you have to store null now. So that we will do now. So here we want to store null. That is nothing but, you can see temp is now 100. Okay. So in this slide, temp is 100. 100 arrow next means it is 200. Okay. So you see temp is 100. Temp arrow next is nothing but 200. In the 200, in the previous link, you have to store null. Okay. So I am writing temp arrow next arrow previous. That is equal to null. When I do that, here null will be automatically stored. Relate this point with respect to the previous diagram. Then only you will understand. Then finally, when you do that, this null will be stored. Then what is another step? You have to release the green color node to the free area. So I am writing free temp. So now if you see this, we have not changed this pointer. But even though this pointer is not changed, when you release it to the free area, it will not be accessible. So we are not worrying about that. Okay, so this pointer, we didn't do anything. Totally 3 pointers you have to update, but I have updated only 2 pointers. The why I have not updated this first red color arrow is, the green color node is now released to the free area. Don't worry about to which it is pointing to, because it will be allocated to another program if that program is requesting the memory. So only 2 pointer changes are involved in this program. Finally, you are releasing the temp node. So all the steps are written in the same order. Now, let us go to the deleted end. In deleted end, consider this diagram. I want to delete the last node. When I want to delete the last node, I don't know which is the last node. For that, I have to travel through the entire linked list. So for initiating the travel, I'm going to keep the head pointer in the temporary variable. After that, I have to continue the travel until I find a node whose next is equal to null. So I am writing while next of temp is not is equal to null. So when you travel like this, finally you will stop at this particular node, and temp will contain the address of this node, that is 300. Because in this 300, the next field is null. So temp will be pointing to this node when the while loop is terminated. So in case of delete, you have to keep track of previous pointer also. Okay, so this is similar to the singly linked list only. We have already seen. You have to keep track of previous pointer also, because that will simplify your work in updating the pointers. So whenever I go to the next node, whatever is the current temp node, that I am keeping as the previous node. And to go to the next node, you have to update temp as temp arrow next. So when you come outside your loop, your temp will be pointing to the node which is not last node, and previous will be pointing to the previous node of that. That means previous will be pointing to this node which is at the address 200. Now at this point of time, you will come outside the loop. Now what you have to do, you can see here the step is very simple. What you have to do is, this green color node, you see here, this green color node you want to release to the memory. There are 2 pointers involved in this. You need to change 2 pointers. But what all the changes you have to do? Here, instead of this 300, you have to store null. Okay. So when you do that, the first arrow will be deleted. Okay. And what about the second arrow? No need to delete it, because green color node is now returned to the free storage. So you have to update only one arrow now. So what is that updation is? Here, instead of 300, you have to store null. So where I have to store null? In the next field of 200. Okay. So 200 is available in previous. In the next field of previous, you have to store null. So that I am writing here. In the next field of previous, I am storing null. That means this will be done. Another pointer I am not going to change, because temp is returned to the free storage. So I am writing free of temp. So now if you see, deletion in a doubly linked list is very simple when compared to the singly linked list. So always doubly linked list is making our process simple. That's why many people go for doubly linked list if they don't worry about wastage of memory. Now all the steps are written here. Then comes a delete at the middle. So when you want to delete at the middle, we are going to get the key value from the user, key value of the node, which we are going to delete. So I am going to travel now to find out which node is having the key as, which node is having the data as a key. So to initiate the traversal, I need to keep the value of the head in a temp variable. So I'm doing that. After that, from the user, I'm getting the value of the key. Then I have to start my traversal. So I will finish my traversal when the data of the temp is equal to key. So in the condition I'm giving, if while data of temp is not is equal to key, you have to do the traversal again and again. So what we are going to do is every time we are going to make the current temp node as the previous node. Okay, so I'm writing prev is equal to temp, and then make the next node of the temp as temp. So I'm writing temp is equal to temp arrow next. So when you come outside the loop for this condition, what will be your temp and what will be your previous? So we are searching for 2, okay? 2 is available here. So when you come outside the loop, your temp will have 200 because that node is having key as 2. So my temp will be pointing to this node. And what about previous? That is nothing but address of the previous node, which is 100. So these two will be with 100 and then 200. So at this point of time, I'll come outside the loop. So now what are the changes I have to do? You can see here, this node we are going to delete. Okay, so when you delete this node, there are so many pointer changes you have to consider. So let us see them one by one. First, I am going to make this pointer to point to this node. Okay, because this I am going to delete. The center node I am going to delete. So how to do that? So here, when I want to do that, in this, I have to store 300 because 300 is the address of this node. This I have to store here. So what is this 300? Where it is available? You see, we have only 2 pointers in our hand, previous and temp. Nowhere we have 300. But where is this 300 available is? It is available here. It's nothing but, you see temp is 200. In the next field of temp, we have 300. So I am taking that. Temp arrow next. So I will get 300 in my hand. Where I have to store 300 now? You have to store it here. This is nothing but the next field of 100. 100 is available in previous. So in the next field of previous, you have to store that 300. So I am writing prev arrow next is equal to temp arrow next. When I do that, this link is created. Okay, so this is the link we want, it is created. Next, what is another link we have to do? Actually, 4 pointers you have to change, but we will never change 4 pointers because we are going to delete it. Okay, so we have changed this pointer, which we need definitely. Next, you have to change this pointer. Here, instead of 200, you have to store 100 because this node is going to point to this 100 now. Okay, so this we are going to change. This place we are going to change. So how to do that? So here, I want to store 100. So where this 100 is available? If you see, 100 is available in previous. Okay, so here I am writing previous. So this previous I have to store here. How to access this one? It's nothing but if you see here, my temp is having address as 200. So this is 200. In the next field of 200, we have 300. Okay, so you go to the 300 address in the previous field, that is 100. Here, you have to store previous. So this 100 is available in previous. So I am writing previous in the right hand side. In the left hand side, I have to give how to access this particular node. It's nothing but temp is having 200. Okay, so in 200, in the next field, we have 300. Okay, in that node, the previous field is this one. So we are writing this. And finally, now you see I updated only 2 pointers, but I am writing now free temp. Because of this, no need to update the remaining 2 pointers since it is written to the free storage. So with this, delete at middle is over. So we have changed only 2 pointers. So all the steps are written as a function. Now let us see the display. In display, you have 2 types of display. One is from left to right, another is from right to left. So the default one we are using is left to right, whereas in case of doubly linked list, you have the right to left also. So what is our left to right display? So that is nothing but you are going to start with the head node. So I am writing temp is equal to head. You will display all the nodes one by one till you reach a node with null. Okay, so I am writing while temp is not is equal to null, I have to display the data. So I am writing %d comma temp arrow data. After I display this, I have to change my temp to point to the next node. So I am writing temp is equal to temp arrow next. So when you do this, automatically you will be displaying all the nodes starting from first to the last. Now, this is simple. Now let us come to the display from right to left direction. Here, when you want to display from right to left direction, here we have a head pointer which contains the address of the first node. We don't have any pointer which contains the address of the last node, because right to left means you have to start with the last node, you have to proceed till the first node. So you don't have any pointer which contains the address of the last node. So what you have to do is, you have to start only from the head node. You have to go till you reach the last node. Okay, for that you need one loop first. You can see here there are two loops involved. So don't confuse yourself why two loops are involved, because we don't have any pointer which contains the address of the last node. So first use the first while loop to go to the last node. So for that I am starting with the first node, that is temp is equal to head. Then while next of temp is not is equal to null, I am traveling to the next node. So I am updating temp is equal to temp arrow next. So when you come to this particular place, when you come outside the loop, temp will be pointing to the last node. Okay, it is pointing to the last node, not the first node, right? So here we made the temp to point to the last node. Suppose if you have another pointer in your program which directly give you the address of the last node, you can straightly start from that. No need for this particular loop. But we don't have that in a doubly linked list by default. So we are doing this step. And finally, when you come outside this loop, temp will be giving the address of the last node. Now, from the last node, you travel in the left direction. Okay, so I want to travel in the left direction, so I need the previous pointer now. Okay, so far in the travel we have not used the previous pointer. Here only we are going to use. So now you have to travel in the left direction. You have to display the nodes one by one till you get the previous field of a node is equal to null. So I am writing while previous of temp is not is equal to null. That means I didn't reach the last node, because when I reach the last node, that will have the previous field as null. Okay, so while previous of temp is not is equal to null, you have to display it. So you display temp arrow data. After you display it, change your temp to point to the previous node. So I am writing temp is equal to temp arrow data. And when you come outside this loop, what will happen is you will reach the last node, but the last node data is not yet displayed, because inside this only you are displaying the data. So when you come outside the while loop, you will be in the last node whose data is not yet displayed. So you have to display that. For that, I am writing printf %d, comma, temp arrow data. So when I do that, I have displayed the last node also. So now entire display is over. So what is important here is we need two while loops, because first we have to travel from head to last node. Then keep your temp to point to the last node. After that, you are going to make use of the previous pointer. You will start from the last node, display data one by one till you reach the first node where the previous field is equal to null. Okay. Now with this, display is also over. So now I have written a main function to illustrate all these cases. So in case of doubly linked list, when you execute your program, you have to write two displays. Display L to R and then display R to L, because this is a special point about doubly linked list. So with this, today's class is